first thing I'm going to do, if I'm making a chili, the first thing I want to prep is my vegetables. Rule of thumb is this: what vegetable do I put in the pan first?
Hard ones.
The hard ones. Why?
Because they take longer to cook.
Fantastic, fantastic. So first thing I do is I'm going to dice an onion. Now, actually I'm not going to dice this onion, I'm going to slice it. The reason I'm going to slice it is I want this chili to be chunky. Yeah? So it has lots and lots of texture and bursts of flavour. If I dice it, that texture is going to fall away, you're just going to end up with a bowl of soup. So when we're chopping an onion, we're going to take the outer skin off like I just did, and we're going to cut the top off. We're leaving this is the tail. We're going to cut through that tail, so we're in half, and then we're going to peel off the outer layer, nice and easy. When I'm slicing onion as well, I'm not going to go against that. I'm going to go with the line, with the grain of the onion. Yeah, that way it isn't going to break down in the pan. So quickly slice that. So that's that done. Don't need that half, just one. So I've got half a sliced onion. Done, yeah? That's going on my tray of prep. Reason I'm using red onion over white, it's nicer, it's sweeter in flavour, and it doesn't break down as much in the dish. Plus, it's adding colour. It's going to make this dish more appetising to look at, yeah? Slicing these peppers, again, I'm going to slice these to about the same size as the onion. I'm only going to use half of the red pepper, yeah? So I've got an onion on there, I've got red pepper. What I'm going to do as well, I'll post this recipe. I'm not saying you'll cook this for your tea, yeah? What I am saying, it's a tool, yeah? It's a tool to your bowl. Someone says to you, oh, your Aunt Phyllis is coming round next week and she's vegan. Yeah? You what, mate? Smarty pants. After lockdown, but good point. So if someone says to you, oh, your Aunt Phyllis is vegan and you're going to go drop some tea off at her house from a socially distanced, respectable way, yeah, you've got a dish. So I've got half a red pepper, I've got half an onion, and I've got this courgette, yeah? So I'm going to do this courgette. Now, if I want this to be nice and even, what do I need to make sure?
All the pieces are even.
All the pieces are even. It will not cook even if it isn't even to start with. Yeah? So I've chopped that in half. Yeah? I've sliced it, I've topped and tailed it, and I'm just going to nice at the same thickness. Yeah? As the peppers and onions. It's the exact same thickness. That's on my tray. So my tray now, onions, peppers, courgette. These, yeah, wild mushrooms. Expensive. You can use normal ones if you want, but I'm just going to use a couple of these wild mushrooms. This is just going to take it up a notch. Yeah, I'm going to put these in whole. I'm not going to chop them. The reason I'm not going to chop them is they break down too much and you end up with slimy mushrooms, and we don't want that. Yeah, we want to add colour and texture. We don't want to add slop. However, I have done a recipe and it says add garlic. I am not going to add garlic and I'm not going to add coriander. The reason being is sometimes it can be overpowering, and I'm eating this and I don't like coriander and I don't like too much garlic. So because I'm eating it, that's the way I'm going to do it. The great thing about this is, if you do not like peppers, don't put them in. Put something else in. If you don't like a lot of onion, don't put it in. Put something else in. So long as you use stuff from the same vegetable groups to compensate, you're fine. So keep that in mind, because if you're taking something out, you want to replace it with like for like. So if you don't like spinach, take it out, but you might like spring cabbage. Put that on instead, yeah? Simple. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to get my pan fired up. Notice with this, I am not going to add any butter. I am not going to add any of that. I'm going to put a little bit of oil. You what? I'm going to put the camera on the pan in a second. What I'm going to do with this, I'm going to put a little bit of oil in there. The reason I'm putting oil in there, oil gets hotter, so we're going to use oil because we need this pan to be hot. Yeah, so I've just put a little teaspoon in there. It's not very nutritional, but we're using vegetable oil. It's a vegan chili. So my pan's hot, yeah? First in there, just the onion for now. We're going to sweat that off. So guys, this is going to go pretty quick now because I want these veggies cooked, but I want them cooked fast, yeah? In cooking them fast, they're going to retain what? nutrients, or otherwise known as vitamins and minerals, yes? Okay, so in there, sweaty moons, smelling nice, get that sugar coming out of them. I'm going to put my peppers in, I'm going to put my courgettes in. Yeah? They're going in there. Beautiful. I'm going to soften them up. If I say I want to cook these, but I don't want them coloured, what's the method I'm using? Sweating down, fantastic. Quick explanation on sweating, yeah? Just so you know. If I'm sweating something down, it means pretty much the same as if you're sweating, yeah? What we're doing is we're heating up that much that the moisture within it is coming out. It's sweating. It's expelling the moisture, the flavour and the juice. Make sense? Excellent. You should smell this, guys. It smells absolutely fantastic. In here now, I'm going to put a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper. Yeah, adding salt to this doesn't just add flavour, it allows the moisture to be released from the vegetables. That's why it adds flavour. You're taking all of it out. Okay, in here now, I'm going to add cumin. So, a little bit of cumin in there. So, cumin, ground coriander, straight in. I'm putting all my spice in now because I want it to coat the vegetables. I've got a little bit of chilli powder, not too much. Yeah, and I'm going to put smoked paprika. Yeah, this is going to add a real depth to this chilli, okay? And again, we're going to cook that out. I need to cook that spice out. Yeah, the worst thing you can do now is start adding your moisture to this. If I start adding anything else to this without cooking that spice out, you're going to get a really dry, horrible sauce. The spices are going to overpower it. Such thing as you're burning your spice out. That doesn't mean you're leaving it on the bottom of the pan and burning everything within it. You're taking that spice off the bottom of the pan, so that's coming off there nicely. As soon as I smell that paprika, and you will smell it straight away, start that smokiness coming out, take my pan off to one side. I'm ready for our moisture now. Now what I'm using is, I'm using a bean mix, which is a 5 bean mix or a 4 bean mix. I'm doing a 5 bean chilli, this is 4 beans here, but just before you pull me on it, I've got a 5th one here, just ready. Right, so I've got 400 grams of 5 bean or 4 bean, they're going in there. So within here, I'm going to put black beans. Again, black beans, good, full of fibre. Also, what this is going to do is, it's going to add protein to your diet. So we're going to cook them down. Now what I'm going to do is going to add some chopped toms. So I'm going to put a 400 gram tin of chopped tomatoes. The reason I'm using chopped tomatoes and not fresh tomato, simple. This has got the juice in it. The work's done for you. So that's going to go through there. So it's nice. I'm going to show you this now. Starting to look a bit like chilli, yeah? Okay, so I'm just going to turn the pan down a little bit, because what that's going to do is it's going to reduce and thicken the sauce. So I'm going to add some more nutrients to this. Do you remember me saying before about the iron and the spinach? I've got some baby spinach here, yeah? It's been washed, it's been picked. Now you could shred it up, yeah, and chop it up. I don't want to. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in whole. And the reason I'm putting it in whole is, as that wilts down in our sauce, it shrinks, yeah? It's going to shrink down, it's going to darken, it's just going to start to cook out, and you're going to get that nice, yeah, but the reason I'm putting it in whole is I want to retain that colour, yeah? I want it to stay nice and rich in colour and vibrant, yeah? If food looks appetising, you'll eat it. That there is pretty much our chilli. I'm going to leave that to cook out a little bit. Fantastic. So we're going to use these macadamia nuts, yeah? Because they're full of protein, okay? I'm going to chop these up a little bit, but not too much. What you get from nuts is, you get a load of protein, and you get natural oil coming out of it, yeah? So if I'm making salsa, I might drizzle a bit of olive oil in it, yeah? With this one, I'm not gonna. I'm gonna let the natural oil of the nuts come through, okay? So I'm gonna put some macadamia nuts in a little bowl, and I'm gonna take a rolling pin, yeah? Now, if you've got a pestle and mortar at home, much better. I haven't at the moment, so I'm gonna use a rolling pin in a bowl. Smash them down a little bit. I could chop them with a knife, but any oil or any flavour that comes out of that, I want it to stay in the salsa. That's that. Nice and done. So I've just broke them down a little bit, not too much. Okay, I'm going to take our onion from before, remember our half an onion, and I'm going to dice the onion. So I want everything in this to be around the same size. So I'm not going to do a fine dice as such, I'm going to do quite a chunky dice. So I'm going to go across, and then like you said before, I'm going to take the tip of the knife, and I'm just going to go down the front of the onion. What am I not doing? How's that onion staying together?
You've not cut back to the end.
There you go, yeah, I'm not cutting through this bit. That we're not cutting through. So I'm going to slice that, getting a nice chunk. So we get this, don't worry about this one here, we can use that for stock or something else later. Onion in the bowl with our nuts. Then we're going to take the pepper that we had left over before, the red pepper, again to the same size as the onion and the nuts. Now, which one of these dishes is going to have more nutritional value?
The salsa.
Why?
Because it rolls and still got the nutrients in.
Yeah, and I'm not cooking it. So I'm going to take the seeds out of the tomatoes. Yeah, you see what I did then?
Yeah.
So we're just going to roll that back. I'm going to go across. You could skin the tomatoes. You know how to do that when you drop into hot water. But you don't need to. And I like to keep as much of this veg as possible. These tomatoes have been washed, so I know there's no pesticides on there, nothing nasty, no bugs. But I like to keep the skin and stuff on my veg. For why? Why do I do that?
Nutrients.
Exactly. The less work we do, the more nutritional value you get. If you can run a carrot under the sink at home and just eat it, you're going to get more nutritional value than a boiled carrot. Because you've kept the skin on. Yeah? You've kept all the skin on. You've kept all the juice within there. So I'm going to take this across. Okay. Now what do you think is going to add the juice to this salsa? You know when you have salsa at home and you have that sauce around it, the tomato?
Yeah.
I don't want that. What I want is I want to add a little bit of liquid to it, but I want the liquid that's in there to be good for you. I want everything to be punchy and nice, full of value. Yeah, I'm adding value to your food. And I don't mean value as in cost, I mean value as in health. Right, okay, so what we're going to do is take this top off. Don't need that. Put that to one side. Peeling a pineapple. So we'll take top and bottom. Top and tail off. Okay? Don't need them. I'm not going to leave the skin on this to add nutritional value, because quite frankly, it's disgusting. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my cook's knife, and I'm just going to rotate my pineapple, just taking off that outer layer. Yeah, trying to go just deep enough to take them inner spikes out. Do you understand what I mean by that?
Yeah.
Excellent. So, inside our little pineapple here now, we've got, can you hear that?
Yeah, that's hard.
Yeah, got hardcore in there, I don't want that. Right, just going to slice this. So we're slicing this, and I'm going to cut it the same size as everything else. Everything I do now is about getting everything the exact same size. Uniformity is key. Yeah? So this is going to be a nice uniform side. Yeah? Everything. I'm putting loads of pineapple in. I like this flavour, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. If I wanted to add more flavour to this, I could toast the pineapple. So, in here, I need to get the juices out of the tomato and out of the pineapple and to start to flow. Yeah, we're just going to put a little bit of salt in there. What that's going to do, it's going to release the flavour. I don't want to put too much salt in there that all you can taste is salty fruit. Rubbish. I want to put just enough in there so it starts to release the juice. Also, what's going to help with that is this. You know what that is? Lime, yeah? So we're going to put a little bit of lime. I'm squeezing it like this, and then if any pips come out, I catch them in my hand. If I squeeze it like this, they all drop in. So that's in there. Taking a spoon, and we're just going to mix that through. Now, this salsa, even though it's good to go like this, which it is, The best way to eat this, and the best thing to do with this, is make this nice and early. So I'd cling film that now, and I wouldn't put it in the fridge as such. I'd let it stay at room temperature just until you're ready to use it. Listen, if you're going to keep it overnight, put it in the fridge. If you're going to eat it within an hour or so, leave it at room temperature, and that's going to allow the juice to drop out of that pineapple and tomato. Right, okay. I brought from home some of this stuff here. Right, this is an extra fiery, spicy chilli. Now, you can use Tabasco if you've got it at home, or you can put fresh chilies in there. The reason I'm not putting fresh chilies in there is I want the flavour of the chilli all around it. I don't want you just eating it and just getting bangs of chilli. Excellent. So I'm just going to take a little bit of this, a little bit, yeah, and I'm just going to put that little touch of this. Is going to be about half a teaspoon. Right, so I'm going to mix that through. So there's our salsa, nice and colourful, yeah?
Yeah.
Full of flavour, good to go. On my plate here now, I've got a nice chilli that's full of colour, yeah?
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to spoon that in. I'm just going to try and keep that in the centre of the bowl. I'm going to take my salsa, yeah, and I'm just going to scatter a little bit across the top. Yeah, that's going to give out bangs of flavour and colour on there. So it's going to be a nice little pea shooty finish. And that is a fantastic, nutritious lunch.